Hey, thanks for tuning in for another great conversation here on Strong Leader Development Podcast. If you found value in today's episode, you can catch every episode on your favorite platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. So we'd look forward to you tuning in and on those platforms. Hey, welcome back. Glad you're with us today. Hope this will be helpful for you today. Really want to talk about a sensitive topic, a pretty difficult topic to talk about, and that is this danger of becoming a narcissist in your pastor role. When we think of the word narcissist, oftentimes we think of somebody who is really shining and upfront and notice me and very, very selfish and in some ways maybe even abusive, and that's true about the narcissist in terms of this huge definition of narcissism. But all of us have within us a narcissistic tendency, this what I call survival narcissism that can show up, and it is much more subtle than what we envision. We see that as such a negative word, and when we are narcissistic, it can be very, very negative. But what I want to note today is a little more subtle area of narcissism that we in leadership and pastors especially can fall into and not even realize this is what's going on for them. So I just want you to open your heart to the possibility of, hey, do I have some of these indicators? One of the best areas of study that I have done around this has come from an author who has co-authored with several people in terms of very good books, and that is Jim Wilder. Now, there are three books that I would highly recommend: The Other Side of Church, The Other Half of Church, The Other Half of Church. The second one is The Pandora Problem, and the third one is Escaping Enemy Mode. All of these are very good at helping us look into the way we show up and where our narcissistic tendencies might show up. And he takes it from a brain research approach. So he's looking at how our brains are wired when we are young to react certain ways. And there are some ways out of that for us, but it's very difficult sometimes. And one of those rewires that we do would be tend towards narcissism at times, where we take care of ourselves first. And we're really worried about whether we are going to be that strong leader we want to be, and we get out of balance in terms of the way we look at life and the way we lead people for these reasons, and then the brain takes over. So, as a pastor, as a person who's up front or in that leadership role, we are poised to become narcissistic. And it gets fed. It gets fed by our group around us. It gets fed by the people that we lead. They put us up in a position that we all of a sudden realize, wow, what a burden. And I have to keep up certain things in order to lead. And so difficult for us to step away from that at times. Not that we intentionally wake up every morning saying, hey, I want to go out and be narcissistic today. I want to think of only me. I have to win at all costs. or I must keep up this image. So there are 4 areas to really be conscious of and pay attention to when you are stepping into your leadership and you want to recognize, I'm heading down a narcissistic route. First is this image. When we're up front, there's a lot of pressure, whether it's up front on stage or it's up front leading the team or it's up front being a part of the church in a way that people are looking to us. There is a certain image that we've been taught we must have. And when we become very image conscious, then all of a sudden we're no longer authentic. And we will do anything to keep the image up, not necessarily to protect us, although sometimes there is a protection of our own heart that comes online. But it is also, I don't want them to be disappointed in what I am, who I am, who I am to them. So we can really become image conscious and lose sight of why we are in the role we're in, why we were called to this role. So that's one danger. A second danger is shame avoidance. I'm in this position and they are counting on me. They cannot know where I have messed up. And that becomes a shame avoidance, and it is a pathway into narcissism. Before long, we'll do anything to avoid shame. We'll hide things, we will cover them up, we'll deny it, we will put it deep in the recesses, or what's even more dangerous is we'll be a little bit vulnerable, a little bit open, but just enough to draw them in and make them feel a part of what the message we're trying to give. And also, we get a little bit of, they feel sorry for us, but we really haven't revealed deep underneath the shame we're feeling for whatever it is. And it can be simple things. It's not like a hidden porn addiction or a hidden drinking or drug issue or, how we're treating our family at home. It might not be that deep, but we just do not want to feel that shame, and we will become narcissistic to avoid it. We will talk about all the good things, and we will deflect from people when they're getting close to that shame button that they might push on us. So another one is the expectations of our church. It's kind of related to the image, but the membership have expectations of us sometimes. They expect the pastor to be Johnny on the spot all the time, to be praying all the time. They create this false sense of what our pastor is like, and it creates unrealistic expectations on us. Now, when we're in that role, it's hard sometimes to meet those expectations, but it's even harder to let go of, I've got to meet their expectations. They're counting on me. And what happens is we create this narcissistic tendency of they can't know anything that's going on because it will ruin their expectation and I won't meet it, and then I have failed. And then it goes right back into shame, which we just talked about, and an image. They all play off of each other. And then finally, another danger is the praise we get for what we're doing. Now, I don't want to get into too deep of a spiritual talk of deflecting praise. We need to receive praise. We really do. All of us as leaders, pastors especially, don't put on a false humility of, oh, yeah, I didn't, yeah, thank you, and deflect. Really receive the blessing, but receive it down in a space where, okay, yeah, I am doing what the Lord has asked me to do. And that is verification. And I can feel godly pride in what I'm doing, receive the praise. But what we tend to do is one, deflect it, but also seek it out. We may deflect it, but we're continuing to seek out this praise. We are um, hoping somebody will notice we did it well, even though we'd like to hear, hey, where did I not do well so I can fix that? But we can begin to really thrive in the praise and then falsely deflect it and be falsely modest about it when all the time we're craving it. So all of those can move us towards what I call survival narcissism, because that's close to the heart. It's close to this vulnerability. It's close to an area that if they really knew me, they may not like me. And so we put on image, we avoid shame, we try to meet expectations, and then we work it where we're fishing for the praise in order to make us feel better. So, what are some of the solutions to this? Uh, well, let me tell you, there's no magic pill that you can take, no one shot that's going to heal all of this. It is something that we'll have to step into and work on a regular basis. Uh, and it all begins with awareness. It's just an awareness of, wow, I'm thinking of me before I'm thinking of anybody else. Or I'm thinking of you, but the only reason I'm really thinking of you is because it still will help me to feel better and look better. So we need to have an awareness overall. That's just overarching. But awareness is not the only place we need to stop. Oftentimes, I say this on a regular basis, we get caught in a loop of awareness, and this awareness makes us feel a little better. Oh, wow, it's good to know. I didn't realize it was kind of a blind spot for me. I didn't realize. I feel better. Okay, now I can go white knuckle it and work harder and get rid of it. And it doesn't work that way. There's no one magical pill. Awareness is only the first step. And so then you want to move into a few of these things. One, find circles where you can be authentic, you can be vulnerable, you can be real, you can take off the pastor's hat and be a man among men, a woman among women, a person among persons, where you are just you. And you need those circles. And it would be best if you find a circle of other pastors, other ministry leaders similar to you, so that all of you can have a safe place to be authentic, to be vulnerable, to even gripe a little bit, where you could vent some of these things that are frustrating you at your church, not speaking badly of the people that you're venting about, just getting out the emotion that you're feeling so that you don't go sideways back on those people at your church. But also these places where, man, I am struggling. I'm really wrestling with how much pressure I'm dealing with, and others will experience it with you. So find good circles of authenticity and vulnerability where you can really look at what's going on inside of you. You know, we offer those kinds of circles where we can have a group coaching with pastors where each of you are sharing, and it's a guided set of questions that can help you find the better you, the best version of yourself. Secondly, it's really, really important that you remain truly relational. Now, as a pastor, as a ministry leader, most of you have these tendencies to shake hands, say hi, ask the right questions, make people feel welcome. That's not the relational we're talking about. It's remaining relational even when somebody has touched one of those areas that triggers the narcissistic tendencies, the image, the shame, the expectations, and all of that. It is remaining relational, remembering this is a person that I'm working with. This is a soul. This is a heart. Instead of a problem to solve or a critic that I need to avoid. We have to remain relational. What's going on in that person's heart that has them in this place? Now I'm no longer looking at how I'm reacting. I'm looking at, oh, this is a soul that I'm dealing with. So remain relational. Another one, which is subtle, but take care of your family. Take care of your wife. Take care of your husband. Take care of your children. Spend some time with them. Sometimes you need to say no to some things. You need to not meet their expectation at church and say no to some things so that you can do things with your family. It's hard to preach about family things if your family is in turmoil. And so you need to be taking care of them and spend time with them. They're your safest place. They are the ones who know you the best. And in fact, sometimes it's good to be vulnerable and say, hey, I may have some blind spots here. What are you seeing in me? How do you see me? Because you see me different than the people outside of church. So take care of your family, spend time with them. Be you. That's the next one. Be you. Don't put on Saul's armor and try to go fight the giant. Be the authentic person that you are. What are your wants? What are your thoughts? How do you show up? Be that personality. Don't try to be the image that your church expects you to be. Be the authentic person that you are. That doesn't mean when you're naturally angry that you take your anger out on your church people. I'm not talking about be the negative sides and the out of balance parts of us. Just be you. And if you can't find a circle to be you, you need to create one somewhere, but be you. And finally, probably the most important is lose this must win mindset. You must lose this idea that I've got to win. If I don't, I have failed. It's problem solving. It is somebody might be critical and they come at you. Um, it's not a win or lose. It's not a death or live situation. But our tendency to want to win, to want to be right, not righteous, to be right, it really can kill our leadership and send us down a narcissistic path. So, where do we find a mutual win? Where do we sometimes need to submit? Where do we sometimes need to surrender? So, what is it that you need to do to let go of that win? Right? Now, how do you know that you need to work through these? Pay attention to the feedback you're getting. Pay attention to how people are reacting to you. Pay attention to how your family's reacting to you. Create some awareness. Ask some trusted advisors. Now, I want to be careful about the advisors you ask. There's this concept that we could be like the days of Esther, where King Xerxes was following Haman's advice, who was going to kill the Jews. Haman was a yes man. He told King Xerxes all these things that he's good about, and you should, and you ought to. Don't create a group of advisors that blow sunshine off of you on a regular basis because you're getting a false sense of where you are. Create a circle of people who are willing to speak into you they're not afraid of you as a man or as a woman and speak to you that way rather than the pastor role that you're in. So set yourself up in such a way that you start recognizing these things. So hopefully this is something that's been helpful to you today. Take this with you. If you need more, you need to really dig in and find out, reach out to me. We can spend some time really digging in. I'll ask questions that may touch the heart and may be difficult to hear, but we can get underneath and help you to grow away from this tendency of becoming a narcissist that we really did not intend when we first took on the role of leadership and leadership in a church. Thank you so much for your time today. Are you curious about how strong leader development can support your growth? Book a free discovery session with me, and I'll walk you through what it looks like and how I can help you in whatever fashion you need. I like to listen and hear what you have and design whatever works best for you. So reach out and book that free session